I'm Director of Growth here at Vincere. So I'm dialing in from our Saigon office, and I'm also joined by my colleague Amy from our Sydney office.
Morning, guys. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. So today, this is going to be a short and sharp 30-minute workshop on one of our strongest features that we have inside Vincere, which is search. So what we're going to cover today is, it's not going to be so much of a training session, it's going to be a workshop session with Amy running through some live scenarios. And the agenda that we've got in place today is covering mainly some of the new things that we've added over the course of 2019. So in particular, we're going to be focusing on our AI search. So some of you may or may not have explored this yet. And this is about auto matching, finding similar candidates and automatically matching them to jobs that you've put on the system. We're also going to be looking at our Indeed search integration, which we feel is a bit of a sort of sleeping giant within Vincere. Everybody's hooked on LinkedIn, and I think we assume that all candidates are on LinkedIn, which simply isn't the case. And Indeed search is there, it's inside Vincere, it's free to use, and it's the best integration with any CRM that they've got. And that was in their words. So we're going to show you that today. We've added saved search, and we've got some nice bells and whistles coming on saved search in our next release, which is a week on Saturday, the 15th. So we'll be having a look at that. We've upgraded our map search. We're also going to be looking at how you can use Vincere search to stay on top of the health of your database, so managing your data integrity. And I know this is a kind of annoying thing to say, but unfortunately it's a necessary truth. But if you've got crappy data in your system and you're letting your consultants just plonk stuff in and there's no management around that, then it's really going to hurt the ROI that you'll get from our search tool. So we'll be looking at that too. And we'll be finishing with the search roadmap and showing you what's coming in the immediate couple of weeks, and also kind of at the end of Q3 as well. Okay. But before we go into the product itself, just want to give you a little bit of background about our search tool. Some things that you probably aren't aware of, but which are quite cool to know. So our underlying search technology is different than a lot of our competitors. So we started the business 2012, and because we were a little bit later than some of our competitors, we've had the advantage of being able to pick really best-in-class technology to power all the stuff you use inside Vinny. So our Search Solar Cloud, it's really a best-in-breed search tool. It's used by people like NASA, it's used by Apple, it's used by Amazon as well. We host on AWS. We have 4 data centers globally, so Sydney, Singapore. We have one in the US, in Virginia, and Frankfurt. That's important because it means that you can be putting in literally millions of records into Vincere, and Solar will allow us to index them very quickly, including any custom fields that you might add, and serve you search results in literally microseconds. Another thing, I guess, about our attitude towards search as well is, we have customers who work across temp, contract, exec search, perm, and they all have different needs. But one thing that they all have in common is that they all need a kick-ass search tool. And because of that, we will never stop working on search. So we've had 10 upgrades to our search tool since the beginning of last year, and we will not stop because we firmly believe that, job boards are getting more and more expensive. That's not going to change. LinkedIn recruiter licenses are getting more and more expensive. Seek, as we know, they're ratcheting up prices. So you need to be creative. Your database should be your first port of call. And we think a good search tool would just help make you more money. Okay. Okay, so let's have a look at our search. Amy, over to you. Cool, do you want to do any housekeeping before we dive in?
Yeah, so just send your questions through to the chat bot. We're going to be monitoring that through today's session. So any questions that you've got, send them through, and we'll do a bit of a Q&A at the end as well. And if there's anything that we can't answer on today's call, we'll be sending a wrap-up email afterwards with the recording, best practice tips and tricks, and we'll have any questions that we can't answer in that email as well. So send them through, we're monitoring it, and we'll get those answered for you in due course. So I'm going to be running through kind of best practice today through Vincere. So hopefully you guys are already using search day in, day out, but this session is to show you kind of tips and tricks, what we've been working on, and some AI that we've built in for the last couple of releases to really get you the best possible candidates for the roles that you need to fill, but quickly, that speed to market, and importantly, get those people out to work as quickly as possible. So what I'm going to start doing is not jumping straight into advanced search, but using actually the tools that we've got built in to find candidates quickly. So I'm on my calendar view here, and if you do run a temp or a contract desk, I know we've got some exec search people on the call as well, some more perm focused people, but I'm going to start off on contract and temp. And if you're using Vincere to manage your finishes, hopefully you're familiar with our stats view here. I can click on and I can see I've got 4 people finishing this month. Here they are in the month. If I am going to get somebody back out to work, redeploy them, I know that they're compliant, I know that they're fit to work, so I'm just going to get that person straight back out again. I can use Vincere's AI searching within this. So I've got Ben here. I can see that he's going to be available at the end of the month. I can have a look at his CV like you can in that quick view. Last time I spoke to him, I just want to get him out to work straight away, I can go into actions and hit Vincere's find suitable jobs. Now, what this is doing is taking Ben's profile, his job title, his availability, his skill set, his location, and the system is building a Boolean search string for me. So I'm looking for jobs that have got Java experience, that are project managers in New South Wales, and the system has found me 4 jobs that Ben is suitable for. Now, if you're using the advanced search, you know that you can pick and choose the columns that you see here, and you can actually filter from within that. You can hover over certain information to get a better insight of the jobs that you're working on. But again, I've got the quick view, so I can see for this project manager job, there's 5 people that I need to fill. I've engaged 6, it's potentially 28 grand's worth of job. What I can do is, again, use the quick view, get Ben shortlisted and essentially engaged for that work, for that job that I need to fill here. So that's one really great way to understand, kind of to find those jobs. Obviously at the moment, maybe it doesn't matter where the job is based, we're all remote working. And so what you can actually do is update the search string here. So you can drill up or drill down within that. Let's just say it doesn't actually matter if they're in New South Wales, they're working from home. I can take that out of the search string and update, and then all of a sudden I've got 12 jobs that Ben is suitable for. Again, I can filter on whether he's looking for a contract, a temp, or a perm role. I can filter on location, I can filter by company, whatever it is that I want to do. I can just really get into kind of the nitty-gritty of the job information here. Okay. If there are jobs that I'm then working on and I want to say, okay, there's a particular project manager job that I'm working on that has got a high headcount and I want to find more candidates from within the search, I can do another search. So I can say, okay, this project manager role, let's have a look. I can actually action that and use, again, Vincere's auto searching, the AI searching, and find candidates within that search that might also be suitable for that job. And now I've got 14 people here that I've searched within the search that I can put forward for that particular assignment that I'm working on.
I think the key thing there that we see customers sometimes missing is that this auto matching AI searching, what we're trying to do is do the heavy lifting and basically build out that Boolean search string for you. But don't forget, that's just a basis, right? What you can do is you can go into that Boolean search string and take things in or out in order to be a bit more specific. It's a kind of a quick way of hopefully saving you an awful lot of time, especially for junior consultants who might not be that adept with Boolean. We kind of do it for them.
Perfect, perfect. So the next thing, obviously, we've got the AI searching in there, but you might just want to do your own search and run a manual Boolean search of your own. So the quick search bar is at the top here. This follows you around the system. Hopefully you guys are using it. It's not just for candidates, it's for clients, jobs, companies, all of that. But I can come into here and start building out my search string. So let's just say I'm going to use a project manager here. Few things to notice off the bat. Number one, the system has auto formatted that for me. So I'm looking for the full phrase. I can then unformat, and from 355 project managers, I've now got 538 candidates that have got project or manager. I've got 11 contacts and I've got 10 jobs that I'm working on. But if I wanted to build that out, I can actually run searches across any field in the database, including custom fields or talent pools. If I know that my top candidates I've put into a talent pool, I've qualified them, they're ready to work. I know if they're in this talent pool, they're good to go. You can see again, the system has put in this auto operator for me. So I can, if I wanted to expand the search, we have or. If I wanted to drill down the search, we've got your ands, your nots, and your brackets as well. So if you are fluent in Boolean, you can override that. And I say now I've got 58 candidates that I can start engaging with. I can open that up into the advanced search. Again, you've got your filters in the columns. So you can filter by here if you wanted to look at particular fields. But what the system does as well is auto sort that. So by standard, it's in relevance, it's semantic searching, it's we've got the percentage match here, so kind of the best fit to that search string. But if you wanted to, you can override that to frequency, to last updated date, or by registration date. And this is on a per user basis. So by consultant, they can decide the information that they see, the information that they filter down by, but also the sorting that happens when they come into that search result.
I think a really good column to have enabled if you're doing a basic candidate search is that jobs column, because, and again, people kind of miss this, I think, it's easy to miss. So what you can do is if you've got a list of candidates, if you've got the jobs column, you just hover over and you can see where have you sent them historically, the business, where has your business, your colleagues sent them historically, and how far along did they get in the process, how much of that pipeline is green.
Yeah, absolutely. We just had a question come through as well about searching on phone numbers or email addresses. Yes, you can, and part email address, part phone number, you just put it into the search string, hit enter, and it'll give you all of the options of people, especially if they've got quite a complex name that you don't, or there's different variations of the same name, you can actually use that in the search string as well. So when I'm in this search, obviously you've got the quick view again, you can have a look at the candidate's profile, any keywords are highlighted. But if I wanted to expand that search, I come in and I open up our save or load search here. And again, you can just build out your search string. So if I wanted to put in additional filters, I can, or I can use the radius search here. So what this is allowing me to do is search across a particular location. So I'm just going to search in Sydney here, and I can actually view those results in a map view if I wanted to. But in terms of people who I've already placed, if I didn't want to see somebody that I've already put in a permanent placement over the next X amount of months, because then I'd have to refill that role or backfill that role, or if I've got anybody who's currently out working, if they're not available for this position, I don't even want to look at them unless they are due to finish in the next X amount of days. This just means that I can look at everybody who's available to work. So it makes, you've got that extra kind of depth of filter in there. So you've got everyone that you're looking at is available to work. And then we come into Indeed search. This is where you can start building out a search string for Indeed. So let's say I'm looking for a project manager and they're going to be in Sydney. See, this is what Indeed allows you to search across, and you add that as an additional search string. What we've also got inside the system are these tips and tricks down here. So we've got some extra powerful search strings that you can use. So whether that's fuzzy search, which is using the tilde to search across variations of the same word, or typos. Again, a really great one to use, especially if you're in tech and you've got program, for example, where they're using which spelling of it they're using. Is it programmer, programming? You can use those searches. Just run the one search to find everything that you need to. We've also got wildcard searches, but also importantly, null fields as well. So if you wanted to search across a particular search string or a skill set, but not everyone's had that field completed, you can make sure that you're not eliminating great candidates purely because you don't have certain information about them. And then when I'm ready with my search string, I can hit search here. What this is doing is bringing up the results on a map view for me. So now I've got 13 candidates that I can engage with, and I can see whereabouts they're located. I can click onto their record, see previous ratings of them, open up their full record here, CV, LinkedIn, activities, but also that availability as well.
Just one thing to note, Amy, that I noticed you didn't do on the search panel is, so you're searching for people just based in Sydney here. If you wanted to, you could search by proximity to a specific job. So you don't have to, you don't have to use any location and type it in, as long as you've got a client address against a job record, then you can search proximity just wherever the role is you're trying to fill.
Excellent.
Okay.
And when we come into here as well, again, you can use multiple locations. So firstly, we're looking at people in Sydney, but if we're working for a client and we don't know the geography, or we're going elsewhere, you can actually override that. So if you're recruiting internationally, and let's say I'm now looking for a particular role I'm looking for candidates in China. I don't live in China. I don't know the geography, the location of where this company is compared to where my candidates are based. I can just use the radius search here, override that, and just allow the system to give me a better understanding of the candidates that I'm looking for, whereabouts they're located.
And just worth noting as well that one of the reasons that we chose Solar Cloud as our search technology is that it's very, very good with multiple languages, including double byte characters. So whether you're searching simplified Chinese, Japanese, we've got a lot of customers here in Asia. So you can search completely across all double byte characters.
Perfect. So you've also then can go back into the list view. So if you, once you've done the visual search, if you wanted to, we come back into the list view search here again that you're familiar with. But then that's when we go into Indeed. So we've got the 7 candidates that we can look at our own database. Then without even leaving Vincere, I've got 6,500 candidates that I can start looking through in Indeed here. And what it allows you to do is have a look at their profile. Again, go down the list here. If I like the look of them, I can import into Vincere, or I can import in bulk as well.
I just a second here, because I think people just miss this whole Indeed search, and it is such a winner. If you you don't necessarily want to go out on LinkedIn, maybe you want to spend a little bit less on LinkedIn or on job boards. For you to search Indeed and import people from Indeed, you don't even need a account with Indeed. I mean, Amy, have you got an account?
No.
No, I don't even have a registered account at all with Indeed, but I can still search all of the records and I can import them in. How Indeed monetize this is by, if you want to then contact one of these candidates, then you would do that via purchasing a bundle of credits with Indeed, and it's driven through an Indeed account. But you can do exactly what Amy's doing right now for free in Vincere right now. So I really would suggest give it a go, because not all good candidates live on LinkedIn. You know, cast your net wider, and this is costing you nothing, and it's right there in your database today. Okay.
Absolutely. And then at any point you can go back in here, override the search. So if I now want to go back into Sydney, I can do that. Go back into the list view, hit search, and I can go through their records. So now I've got those 13 people, come in, filter on the match if I wanted to, go through CVs. Any keywords are highlighted as well for me to kind of quick glance at these great candidates. And if I am going down the CVs and that's all I wanted to see, I can just, the system is sticky. So I open up the CV on the first one, go down the list, and it opens up the CV for everybody. Then from here, I can engage. I can obviously send emails. I can call them. I can add to talent pools, everything from the action here that you would do as normal, but you've just found the kind of top tier candidates by using the Vincere search as easily as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So the next thing that I wanted to go on to share with you is the saved searches. So you may be running and filling the same roles for different clients, and you just want to have basically a menu of good core bones of a search string just stored into the system, and then every time a role comes in, you add that company's nuance, so whether it's a location or a skill set or whatever that may be. And what they do is they're stored inside the search. So again, I can come in whether it's a candidate search, a client search. I'm going to use the clients here as an example because this is great for data integrity as well. So I'm in clients here and I've got almost 300 clients in the database. But to keep it nice and clean, or to understand the engagement, when the last time I spoke to my clients were, especially at the moment, being able to talk to your clients regularly and make sure that you're touching base with them, especially if they're not necessarily giving you roles to work. The next tab along here is your saved searches. So this is a menu of search strings that you can save inside the system. So each time you can come in and it's dynamic. So I've got here contacts that I haven't spoken to yet this year. If a client comes in that bracket, they will sit in this search result for me. So I can just open this up and load it, and I've got a call list. So then here's 39 people that I can start calling because I haven't spoken to them yet this year. By using the last activity button, I can either sort on that, but just by hovering over it, you can see the last thing that you did with that person, when it was, who did it. So again, you get a lot of insight by putting in your columns into the search result for you to see on a per user basis what's important to you. Again, you can drill up or drill down within that. So if you wanted to have a very targeted search, you can say people I haven't spoken to yet this year that are in the technology industry. And you can get quite granular to make sure that if you're doing any targeted emails or campaigns to them, they're grouped together correctly and you can send the information across.
And if we have any system administrators sort of on the call, or you know, any managers, I guess, what you can do is, because we all know sometimes in recruitment we get busy, and as consultants we can be a little bit lazy with admin. I know I was. What you can do is maybe give your consultants a bit of guidance and create those saved search strings for them. Make sure they just put it inside Vincere so that every Monday morning when they come in and they want to pull up those kind of call lists, they can do it all via a saved search.
Absolutely. So I've got a
What
few in
other
here.
sorry, Amy, like what other saved searches do we see a lot of?
Absolutely. I mean, specifically at the moment, it's the data integrity, because obviously you want to, as Eloise said at the beginning, if your data's not great, the search is only as powerful as the data that you've got. So being able to put in certain rules into the system about what is a complete data record. So we've got one here saying if the email isn't completed for your clients, you can load that and you can say, okay, out of all the clients in my database, I've got 21 of them that I don't have an email address for. You can assign a list of these people to the consultant, to the contact owner to say, we need email addresses, this record isn't complete. You can even go one further and say, okay, the record isn't complete unless I've got a telephone number or an email address or they've been tagged correctly. So being able to kind of set your rules per business, what is a complete record? You just say, okay, build it out, whether your ors or your ands, and say, okay, here's now 200 contacts that aren't complete inside the system. I haven't got the right information. Assign it to who you need it to be.
And we'll follow up with a cheat sheet, which gives you some of what we believe are the essential searches, safe searches that you really should have everybody should have in their account. So we'll put that and send it out to you guys after the call.
Yeah, absolutely. And then some kind of best practice for candidate searches. Again, if you're filling the same roles, you can have a menu here and you can just add in those nuances for those jobs. So candidates in a certain location, or candidates that have been tagged as a project manager that are available this week. So you can use availability searches. So again, you get a last minute assignment come in and they need to get out to work tomorrow. Instead of building that search string, you come into search, project managers that are available this week, load it here, and now I've got 33 people I can essentially start going through. When was the last time I spoke to them? What jobs are they available to fill? Because again, from here, just by actioning them, I've got those two smart searches within the search. So I can find candidates like them, or I can find jobs for them as well. This find similar candidates. Have we gone through this? Did I go
We
through
did. We did it right at the beginning. I mean, it's pretty basic, but it's all about building out those automated Boolean search strings. Oh no, we didn't cover this, Amy. Sorry, you're right.
So we did the jobs, but the find similar candidates here, this again is using AI searching, but being able to find candidates based on another candidate's profile. So you've got your unicorn, you've got your 5-star candidate, you need to put 5 people in a job. Can we find somebody else who looks like this candidate? So we're using, again, Boolean, but kind of your brackets in here, making it simple. The system will default as or, but if you wanted to, you can override to and here. And you can decide what you're building out into this search string. So the system uses these key parts of the candidate record, and you can pick and choose what's included. So the 2 operators here, or sits between these fields. So if they've been tagged multiples, you can say, okay, I want or this tag, or that tag. Whereas this or here is going between fields. So then you can really build out the particular search string within that and hit search, and the system again runs that AI search for me, looking for candidates that match that candidate's record.
So are you finished with the whistle stop of what's new? Should we have a look at what's coming?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a few questions come through, but I think Bella is on top of those. But yeah, if we go into what's new coming, that'd be great.
So as mentioned, search is something that we're never going to stop improving on and adding more and more stuff to. And so you can see most of what Amy's covered there has actually been delivered the first half of this year. In the face of COVID, we have been pumping out these new bells and whistles, so do try them. We have a release coming a week on Saturday on August the 15th. The first thing that's coming is to do with saved search. So have an explore of saved search. What we have added, and this is really due to customer demand, is we're giving you the ability to share your saved searches with your colleagues. And this is going to work in exactly the same way as talent pools and distributions currently work. So today, by default, if you create a saved search, it's only you that can see it. But in a week on Saturday, you'll be able to share those out with other people in the team. This will be great if you're a system administrator and you just want all of your team having some basic saved searches in to help them manage their tasks. Number two, this is a nice one. Okay, so you'll know if you're running a temp or contract desk that we've been adding a lot of features in around contract and temp functionality. So we have a kind of pièce de résistance coming later this quarter, which is our shift scheduler. So it's not there yet, but ahead of that shift scheduler release, we're really bulking up the way that you can search across your candidate availability inside Vincere. So right now you can search across whether they're available today, this week, next week, or their next available date, but we're really taking that up a level a week on Saturday, and we're going to let you search specific hours, well actually down to 15-minute increments, so that when you're searching across your available temps, you'll be able to do it for a very, very exact auto match and be filling your shifts. And the third thing that we have coming, and this is not in the release on the 15th, but it is coming later this quarter, is something called faceted search. So this is a kind of search that you'll probably be used to if you've used big, any e-commerce site like Amazon, for example. It's more of a like B2B search experience, so B2C search experience. And what it will let you do is be able to drill into a list of attributes from a nice, clean, sort of very visual view. And we think it's going to really improve usability of the search.
It's
again,
basically like online shopping, how you would online shop on eBay or something, when you say I want this and I want that, but I don't want this, and really being able to build out a simple search that everyone's familiar with.
Yeah, so that's coming pretty soon as well. We've got more in the pipeline on search, but they're the three biggies that we've got in the immediate future. We're really excited to ship those out. And that's it for today, I think. I mean, we'll be following up with a Q and thorough answers to any of the questions that have been put in the chat that we've not answered yet. And we'll also be sending out a cheat sheet which details all of the stuff we covered today, help articles against each point, as well as a recording of this session as well. Anything else to add from you, Amy?
I mean, we've got 1 or 2 minutes, so do pop any questions into the Q&A, and we'll get those answered for you, or just send us. Obviously, you've got both our email addresses, so after this, if you've got any questions, let us know. But the power of the search inside Vincere, if you have the basics of the saved searches in there, it's really, really powerful, especially for speed and being able to search your own database before you go externally. I think is really powerful. So being able to get the bones of those put into the system would be a great start. And so we'll get those cheat sheets sent out to you.
So one more thing, and we always ask this, but hey, if you don't ask, you don't get. We're still spending on marketing. So if you could give us a shout out on LinkedIn, if you're enjoying using the platform, review on Software Advice or G2 Crowd, we'll be forever grateful. We really do note it with appreciation. And yeah, if you need anything from us, remember Vinny loves you and we're here to help you. Have a great day, guys.
Absolutely. And just one last thing, if you're using Indeed, you don't need the account or to turn it on or anything. Just go into the search and filter and it's here, my horrible circle there, but you just go in and add in the filters that you need, and you can start using the Indeed search straight away.
Fabulous. Okay, guys, have a wonderful day. We'll chat to you soon.
Thanks, guys. See you later.
Bye.